What's up, people? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Arts podcast. It's your Kru Lucky from Lucky's Muay Thai. This is episode number 97. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about a PFL that just passed, a Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou and Cris Cyborg made history. We'll talk about that. That's huge, by the way. UFC 308 is this weekend. And I hadn't really thought about doing a pick'em, but I'm going to pick 'em because there's some serious fights on this and some title implications and some historic implications, and we'll get into it. But first, if you like the show, tap the like, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, pass it along, drop a comment in the comment section below to help the algorithm. Hit that notifications bell if you want to be notified when this podcast drops or when I drop some, technique videos. If you want to stop by the gym, hit us up, www.luckysmt.com. We have a fantastic Muay Thai program. Been around almost 8 years now. We have a wonderful Jiu-Jitsu program. If you want to hit us up and stop by, get a free trial class, we'd love to have you come by. www.luckysmt.com. Let's get your Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, fitness, self-defense, just feeling good journey started. Okay, let's talk about the PFL. Battle of the Giants this past like a week or so ago, and it was fantastic. Francis Ngannou made his return against Renan Ferreira, who had been destroying people. Francis, coming off of a loss to Anthony Joshua in boxing where he got knocked out, said he didn't feel like himself, and he wasn't speculating about anything, but I'll speculate. He said he felt like everything was like nothing was moving in the right timing. Everything felt fun. He felt funny, which is interesting because there's a lot of like suspicious things that happen in boxing. People are very careful about who touches them, what waters they get. There's like a video, I think, of Tyson Fury, or it could have been Conor McGregor. No, I think it was Tyson Fury. Somebody tried to give him a water, and he's like, who gave you? No, I don't want that. Give me this one. Opened a fresh one. There was a video of Bernard Hopkins trying to just touch Gervonta Davis on the back at a face-off, and at a weigh-in for the press or whatever, and Gervonta freaked out because he touched him with his hand, and that's because freaky things happen in boxing and in sports. Somebody will wipe some testosterone cream on their hand, let it dry in, and then touch a person that might have a little moisture on them, and the next thing you know, that person gets popped. So things are very suspicious. I'm not saying anything happened in that. Anthony Joshua was a fantastic fighter, but Ngannou was definitely saying he didn't feel like himself. He also lost his 1-year-old child, which, to be honest, I don't know how you even continue. I know he has an obligation with PFL and all that, but maybe that was what motivated him to keep the training, to keep going, was that he lost his child and he's doing it for him. It is more than heartbreaking. As he said, I think in an interview, like you're never going to get over it. You wonder if it's ever going to go away, and it doesn't. I'm 52. I lost a child at birth. Shit, man. A lot of years ago, 20 some odd years ago. And yeah, I still think about it and it still affects me in some way. So that being said, this man dealt with all of that and came out and performed at a level that was exactly what it needed to be. High level, professional IQ, knew exactly what needed to be done. Like he knew the job and he went and did it. Exchanged some leg kicks, ducked under Renan Ferreira's striking attack, double leg takedown, and then worked his way up, got out of a triangle, which was kind of slick by Renan Ferreira, but nonetheless, he turtled after that, took a bunch of shots, maybe even a couple of shots after the fact, or behind the head, which he was already out. It didn't matter at that point. And then takes the heavyweight title of PFL. Now he has 2 heavyweight titles. He has fought in boxing. Let's talk about that really quick. He fought the two of the top heavyweights, if not the 2 top heavyweights in boxing at the time. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. That's like Conor fighting Floyd and then fighting Manny right after, like whatever it was, 4 or 5 months later. Like incredible story. Not even mentioning all the stuff that came before that. Clearly working in the sand mines, going through trying to immigrate, getting sent back 4 or 5 times, going to jail, finally ending up in France, and then finally somebody talks to him and says, no, don't box, become an MMA fighter, and then in a couple of years becomes the heavyweight champion of the UFC. This story is Ali level as far as how it can impact people in the long run. I believe once he starts to touch people's hearts, and I believe that he will because of who he is, as long as the media gets a hold of him and beyond the MMA media and embrace him, he will really, really, I think, affect a lot of people and their determination and will and ability to overcome obstacles in life. So shout outs to him. Full disclosure, I actually shot the show a few days ago, and I was wearing a dashiki for, in respect for Francis, but I didn't press the record button. So here we are shooting it again. Cris Cyborg beat Larissa Pacheco. This is her 5th title in 5 different organizations. I think she has 12 title defenses. Let's see, what is it? It's PFL, it's UFC, it's Strikeforce, it's Invicta, and Bellator. Nobody, listen, when she was first on the scene years ago, I've been watching, obviously I've been in this business and around this stuff for 20 some odd years at least, right at the beginning. When she was in the beginning of this stuff, people made fun of her because of the way she looked. People made fun of her because there was a scandal about steroids. People made fun of her for so many things. And she put her faith in her religion first and her skills in fighting with that. And she never let anybody stop her. She went on, she's done wonderful things for women. This is the champ that people want. Larissa Pacheco is a tough MFer, yo. She took everything Cyborg have to give. She lasted the entire 5 rounds, fought her ass off. But Cris Cyborg is by far, well, at least at this point, by far, by leaps and bounds, the greatest women's MMA fighter of all time. I am not knocking Amanda Nunes and what she's done in the UFC, but this woman has crossed decades and won titles all across them in different organizations against different competition, and held herself in a fantastic standard and in high regard outside of the cage. This woman right here is the greatest female MMA fighter of all time and should be treated as such and given all the accolades and flowers. She is a first ballot Hall of Famer for any Hall of Fame that recognizes MMA fighters. 100%. Not to mention that she has forayed into boxing and won a ton. I think she even won a boxing belt. So what are we talking about? Fantastic. These are historic things that happened for Francis Ngannou, for Cris Cyborg, and for the PFL, who is now clearly the number 2. I don't know how they did in pay-per-view, but I don't think it matters because I believe it was a wonderful event. The other fights were great. AJ McKee got beat by Paul Harris, who is, Ireland's next coming. I'm not saying he's the next Conor, but he's the next big one out of Ireland. Anyway, fantastic event by PFL. It's amazing what Ngannou has done. Shout out to him. I don't know how he did that after the loss of his son, obviously dealing with the boxing nonsense, and not nonsense. He did fantastic, but just all of the things that he's had to do. Shout out to him. Shout out to Cris Cyborg for continuously proving everybody wrong. All right, UFC 308 is about to hit, and I'm just going to run through this real fast because I really wasn't thinking about doing this until after the fights passed, but I'm going to lay it on the line. You got a lot going on, man. Woo. Title implications. Robert Whittaker, Khamzat Chimaev. This is to fight DDP, Dricus du Plessis, this is not true. This is for the title. Dricus is fighting Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland may win this title back. But Robert Whittaker is, to me, one of the best fighters out there and maybe one of the most underrated. He seems like such a likable person. People forget about how skilled he is. The thing about Khamzat is all of these mysterious injuries and so forth and so on, we just don't get to see him enough. We know he's highly skilled. We know that either one of these guys can win this fight. I'm going to take Robert Whittaker in this fight, mainly because I just feel like he is overly prepared and he's been waiting for this fight for such a long time that he's ready to go. And I believe he can do it, man. I think that he needs to get through these first 2 rounds, really battle it out, and then we'll see what's happening after that. Ilya versus Max, this is what I really want to talk about. Max has the pedigree. Ilya's the new star. Ilya's very confident, cocky almost. Cocky for real. Does he back it up? Yes. He has the title. But is he at the level yet that he is doing a lot what people in that situation do that like to talk? He likes to be, he likes that persona, that Conor, that Floyd, that he likes that. I get to talk, dress nice, kick ass, take names, whatever it is, wine and dine, fanciest houses, nicest cars, all that stuff. It's a great place to be. But this isn't like, the thing is, like, it's not like football or basketball or whatever the case. Like, somebody really gets an opportunity to whip your ass. And you can go home to that nice house, that nice car, that nice whatever, all those things with your ass whooped. And then you have to look in your mirror with all your really nice big mirror with all those things and go, damn, I heard that dude whoop my ass. And he's not even what I think I am. In my opinion, this is a 50-50 fight. Ilya's got good footwork. You can tell that because he's not usually as long as the person he's fighting. So good footwork and intelligent IQ gets you into positions to do the things he does, which is finish. Max, on the other hand, also fantastic footwork. And he knows how to keep you at range. And he knows what to do when you're in range or inside of range. So to me, this is 50-50. I don't know if Ilya can finish Max. I just have to say anybody can get finished in this business. Max already, I believe, understands what he has to do to win this fight based on all of his experience, everything he's been through, and even the last fight against Gaethje where he had to fight Gaethje but also maintain his range from Gaethje. Like that was perfect. A perfect lead up for this fight. So I'm going to take Max Holloway to win this fight, get his title back, and also history. I mean, the man has literally done everything. Title, BMF, 45, 55, whatever. This man has done it all. And so if you ask me, Max Holloway takes his title back, and onward we go. Anyway, I love y'all. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you like it, keep the like, hit the subscribe button. If you want to stop by the gym, www.luckysmt.com. Hit myself or Roberto Carrero for Jiu-Jitsu up directly at Lucky's Muay Thai on Instagram or at Carrero Martial Arts on Instagram. We'd love to get you in for a free trial. And drop a comment below. Let me know who you got for this fight or for these fights. And I'll be looking at them. Peace. I'm out.